Scott Mills.
Radio 1, Jax Jones and Megan, here's your guide to Norwich.
Woo!
Norwich, Norwich, Norwich. A church for every week of the year and a pub for every day. Home of Delia, mustard and canaries. But its history has not always been chirpy. It got a bit of a hammering from the Danes. Boadicea led an uprising against the Romans there, and in 1381 the peasants revolted. Peasant. William the Conqueror built a castle and the cathedral there in the 11th century, which stands firm to this day and is regarded as one of the most notable pieces of Norman's architecture in the UK.
Who's Norman?
I don't know a Norman.
I meant Norman, yeah, not Norman, it's not a person. It's a
Norman architecture.
I lifted this bit from Wikipedia, to be honest.
What's the Norman times? I really should have paid attention to history.
Someone will text in. Fast forward 600 years, and Norwich was a booming textile centre. And with the arrival of the Industrial Revolution, more cloth than ever was being made and touched. Now, I must warn you, the Norfolk dialect...
Oh, no.
Now, I must warn you that the Norfolk dialect is very distinct. Unless you've been brought up there, a strong Norfolk accent, peppered with words that aren't widely used in other areas of the United Kingdom, can be difficult to understand. Let me teach you a few terms. Scott, press play on first Norfolk saying 1.
I really need a bear.
That means I'm thirsty. Do you want another?
Is that right, Megan?
I don't know, it sounds like my granddad, but I haven't got a clue. Like, I don't know what he's saying.
Here's another.
See if Megan knows what this translates as. She probably does, cause local.
Hey, you got a licence?
What? No. Oh, what? A licence?
That means the quality of your driving suggests that you might not possess a driving licence. The guide continues. Now, you may not think this, but Norwich has often actually been ahead of the times. Did you know it was the first place to have postcodes? It has the oldest open-air market in the UK and the UK's first local newspaper. And thank goodness it did. Recent headlines for the local paper include: sunburnt pig called Delia wanders loose on Prince of Wales Road. Another headline: theft off Norfolk's pebbles is treason. And my favourite: it wasn't me. Les Dennis denies being responsible for Norwich graffiti.
Why would it be Les Dennis?
Yellow is very much the colour of Norwich. The football club, the Canaries, play in yellow. Coleman's mustard was invented in the capital of Norfolk, and yellow is the colour that adorns the pavements of Prince of Wales Road after one too many on a Saturday night. And speaking of a Saturday night, oh, what a night. Amongst others, Norwich has 4 spoons, Gonzo's Tea Room,
4, he's not wrong.
Pop World, Loft NR1 Gay Bar. It did have a Lola Lowe's, I should know. I DJ'd there one night. However, it closed down the next day.
True.
Yeah, that was your fault, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I should also warn you, if you
single-handedly closed the club down.
But
That's how good the gig was.
It doesn't tell the full story, but I haven't got time. I should also warn you, if you end up in Sugar and Spice, it is not an Indian takeaway. And what more can you expect from a place that gave birth to legendary songwriter Cathy Dennis? To think, if it wasn't for Norwich, might we never reach for the stars?
Someone from Norwich wrote that.
Oh, what a bop.
Might Katy Perry never told us how she once kissed a girl and liked it?
Who wrote that?
Cathy Dennis,
Wow.
apparently.
Wow.
Might S Club Juniors not be one step closer to heaven? Its musical legacy doesn't stop there either. Let's Eat Grandma, Serious Drinking, and Bearsuit all come from Norwich. But they aren't the only famouses you might see in the town. Famous tall man Greg James from BBC Radio 1 and Staying In with Greg and Russell fame went to uni there.
I forgot about that.
Famous small man, Vice Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson, also lived there.
He was really small.
Even Mr. Sucky Sucky himself, James Dyson, is from around the area. Yes, that's right, the man that invented those vacuum cleaners. So, Dan and uni friends of Meghan, Norwich is ready for you. And in the words of its most famous son...
Where are you? Where are you? Let's be having you! Come on!
I should have said daughter there, apologies to Delia, but you get the idea. Norwich really is the place to be.